Welcome to the Reddit gang. We post the best content of Reddit every day. So make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Also check out the meme gang on Facebook and Instagram for the finest memes. Enjoy the video. People on Reddit answer, what was a time when sex came to an abrupt end? Don't forget to tell us your own story. One time I was on my back with the guy on top of me when he suddenly lets out a yelp and leaps off of me and the bed. Turns out his dog had gotten into the room and stuck its nose hard onto his balls from behind. The mood was dead after that. I just remembered this the other day and had a good laugh about it and was wondering what your stories were. The last time I attempted to have sex with my ex. The time before was very awkward and she definitely wasn't herself. This time was much the same and she virtually threw me off of her. She stated, "I can't do this," and then turned over. She also said that she wasn't happy anymore. It took me 9 months to figure out that she had started seeing another guy. I can only assume from what I learned later on that she had hooked up with him and the guilt was consuming her. Most memorable was in college. We were in the midst of shower sex when the fire alarm went off. The RAs checked rooms when we had drills, so we had to move fast and get out or risk being fined. I couldn't find my shirt and ended up wearing one of her far too tight hoodies outside in the freezing cold. We resumed once the drill was over, but not in the shower. Once we were doing it when we suddenly heard a very loud car brake sound from outside the house. We look out of the window and turns out a car has driven into the trees, middle of the boulevard. The driver's been drunk, too speedy, and he was killed. Probably the most tragic sex ending of my whole life. I was with an ex a few years back. We were on our knees on the bed going at it doggy. We were broke students at the time and had a shitty steel frame bed. Anyway, as the pace picked up, the bed was rocking to its limits when suddenly one end broke and sent us both flying head over heels off the bed while I was still buried in her. I banged my head of the wall and almost snapped my schlong in two, while she fell awkwardly and ended up dislocating a finger. Not fun at the time, but it's hilarious thinking back to it now. My very first time, me and my then girlfriend were drinking and chilling and we decided to have sex for the first time ever. 15-year-olds, we were both virgins. Her house is like two houses merged together and her whole family lives in one and the other one they just sort of use for storage and a big living room. Kinda like a man cave. So we start having sex awkwardly, as it's usual for first timers, when suddenly we hear her dad's trying to open the door of the house which we of course had locked. Long story short, I don't have enough time to put on any clothes, so I just go out to her front lawn to hide under a car completely naked, but she does have a little time to put on shorts and a t-shirt and pretended she was watching TV. Of course her dad knew we were having sex. I was eating out my wife in the middle of the night, and the bedroom door opens and my son, 5, walks in cause he had a nightmare. Thank God there was no light. I jumped out of bed and covered myself and my wife and he didn't seem to notice anything and just laid there in bed next to his mom. Poor lad. Yeah, nothing too original about this story I guess. We were having sex doggy style and I pulled out. As I went to thrust back in she moved and my dick hit her ass bone. It snapped. I ran down the stairs to get ice and my nutsack filled up with blood like a water balloon. I used to be as straight as an arrow and now I'm a trick shot. The time I was going at it and felt a strange feeling, then thought why is everything feeling a lot wetter than normal. Pulled out and my dick was spitting blood, ran to the toilet and put it in the sink. Mood killed instantly as was my sex life for 1 month on doctor's advice. Also, when you phone the emergency services and start the conversation with "I think I broke my dick," there ain't no getting back to it. I met this girl online and took her to the swingers club I hang out at. We went to the back and got to it. Black room, white sheets, black lights on. I kiss her and finger her, she's sensitive so she comes easy. I pull my hand away and I see what my hand and arm were blocking. She shit the bed. It wasn't that she shit. Stuff happens, but it was that she was so casual, meh, whatever about it. Meanwhile I'm freaking out. You shit the bed. We need to change these sheets, you need to hop in the shower and clean up. Jesus fuck go go go. How are you so casual about this? Is this a common occurrence? My wife, girlfriend at the time, and I were watching a movie when things got hot and heavy. We were really getting after it and my hamstring tightened up. Then the movie had a strobe effect going and really threw off my rhythm. I went too deep, hurt her, and then collapsed due to my hamstring hurting so bad. Everything was good till the damn strobe light effect. Another time, we live off a highway and our bedroom windows face the road. However, it was summertime so our windows were open. This particular night we are going at it and a cop pulls over a drunk driver right in front of our house. You see the pattern here? Those fucking strobes again. But, this time it didn't affect us. The drunk driver was loud and the answers started to make us laugh. They could obviously hear us laughing. So we had to stop mid-coitus. So now every time we see the cherries and berries in our windows we start to laugh. Years ago my ex and I were house-sitting my auntie's place and feeling great about having a whole house to ourselves. We started getting hot and heavy in the bedroom and the clock was ticking around to go time. My ex excused herself from the room to go get a dinga from her bag. We had a back and forth thing of playfully scaring each other when moving between rooms. For whatever reason, I thought jumping out from behind the bedroom door in a strange house as she walked back in would really set the mood. Well, it didn't. She got super scared, threw the dinga in the air and screamed. Then she cried. That night sexy time was no longer on the cards and I learned a valuable lesson. I was doing my ex doggy style and I caught a whiff of her toilet talker and tried powering through it. The smell only got worse as it went on. Finally I pulled out when I went limp. I had asked her if she took a dump recently. Only for her to reply that she did. Well, I tried to be polite and say that it smells like she didn't. Well, she went and showered. We tried to get back at it when she was done. Mood killed though. Had a girl who was riding me, she hit her head on planks of the bed. Yes, broken the wood plank on the bed. Kill the mood. Another time when a girl left her phone on ringer, the caller was daddy with horrible soundtrack. He kept on calling too. Had to stop for a short time. Two different times come to mind. Me and my girlfriend, we ordered pizza. Usually it takes 40 to 45 minutes for the pizza to arrive. Meanwhile, we got jiggy assuming we have plenty of time, but that day the pizza arrived within 20 minutes or so. We had no option and we had to stop the session and get the pizza. By that time the mood was gone and this is how it came to an abrupt end, and I needed new sheets and a shower afterward. Shortly after my husband and I were married, we were enjoying a weekend spent in bed. During a position change, I managed to kick him square in the chest and send him flying off the bed backwards. He cracked his head on the edge of a tempered glass TV stand. There was blood everywhere and he narrowly avoided the trip to get stitches. That would have been a fun one to explain at the ER. Two different times come to mind. Once, with my ex, I was eating her out and a spider crawled over her thigh, next to my face. Fuck that. The other, my, then GF, now, wife was going down on me. We were being kinda rough and she'd never been with a guy big enough to deep throat, so we wanted to see if she could. Turns out, she does have a gag reflex, and I needed new sheets and a shower afterward. Train from Chicago to Seattle, we were in one of the bathrooms, she was bent over and I was driving, then someone opened the door. They slammed the door closed, killed the mood instantly. The first time I remember was when a girl I was dating decided she wanted to swallow and proceeded to throw up on me when I came in her mouth. The second was while dating my first wife. We had to be careful in certain positions because I'd hit her cervix. We were getting into a rhythm in doggy and enjoying ourselves. My hand slipped off her hip and dick hit her cervix so hard she wasn't the only one in severe pain. I was about to have sex with this girl in an unused room of a medical-ish facility, but as soon as I was about to go in we heard a bang at the door. Simultaneous dick deflating and heart pounding out of my chest. I basically stormed through the apartment, grabbing all my clothes with one hand while trying to put them on with the other, and got out half naked, disappearing in the night. That happened in my youth, when I heard the car of my then girlfriend's aunt coming home earlier than expected. My wife and I took my mom on a nice vacation to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We had a hotel suite with 2 bedrooms separated by a living room and kitchen. Nearly 2 hours after my mom went to bed in her own bedroom, my wife and I are very quietly going at it. Just as I'm starting to come, like the first pump is on its way, my mom knocked on our door. It was and shall forever remain the least pleasurable orgasm both my wife and I ever had. We had all the mess and none of the payoff. Worst part is that she left her purse in my truck and wanted the keys. The keys were on the counter she walked past to get to our bedroom. We would often skip school to go to my house to bang. One time my dad got home early from work so we stopped and I had to hide my BF in the shower. He got dressed but his shoes were kind of loud so he didn't put them on. Once it was safe I let him out through the back door and he ran 6 blocks barefoot. I picked him up and we went to go eat after. To become a real gangster, follow these easy steps. Smash the like button and comment on this video. Subscribe to the Reddit gang and activate the notification bell. Like our Facebook page. Follow us on Instagram.